Alright, here's a new view. It's definitely a lot louder in here. I'm driving it for like a month now, but every time I'm like going to work in it, I always forgot to bring the microphone thing to plug in that's always sitting in the cup holder in my Hyundai. This is my 1990 Volkswagen Jetta GTX. And from the Volkswagen world, it's got the 9A CIS E 2-liter 16 valve. Not the most favorable because it's got the Bosch injection, and it's been working fine. I did both fuel pumps probably a year ago because it didn't like the hot start. I'd like start it in the morning. I could drive to work, no problem. But if the wife's like, "Hey, can you stop on your way home?" I'm like, "No, that requires a hot start." And it would crank and crank and crank and crank and crank. And I was like, I never knew what the fuck. I like did a bunch of shit and never found the solution. And then I just started doing one thing at a time. Like, we looked at the metering head, but I was like, well, it runs fine when it runs. And I'm like, it cold starts like a champ. So I did both the fuel filters and popped open the back, opened the tank, and there's a little anti-shock hose that goes in between the filter and the fuel pump in the fuel tank. So it had room to compress and adjust, and it completely melted, pretty much. So I'm like, I don't even know how it was running. It's Billy. I was like, how the fuck was it even running? So it's starving for fuel. It's got 2 fuel pumps, and it's got like this slosh box where it always keeps fuel in a little tank underneath the car, which is really weird. But it's Bosch, so they do lots of weird things, especially in the 90s. Replaced all the fuel pumps, a bunch of hoses, and it's been running like a champ ever since. Got 255,000 K. I've had it since like 220. I know, right? I did the head on it twice because I had a learning curve of doing twin cabs. Like I said, I can't afford mechanics to do shit, so I was like, okay. I tried to do a Volkswagen Rabbit. I think it was a 1.7 when I was like high school, and I fucked it up and had to pay a Canadian Tire to do it, which at the time they did a time about was only $500, but that was still big money for me back then. And what else? So yeah, I had a head gasket leak, so I took it apart, no problem. Met my buddy's shop that does all the Euro stuff, and I'm just like, he's like, I'll help you as much as I can, but of course he's busy as fuck, and he's like, I have all the literature you would need to do this. I'm like, alright, that's great. I don't know how to comprehend when I read very well. Like, I can, but I'll read it like 6 times, and then I'll second guess myself, and then read it 3 more times. And then I'll be halfway through a step and I'll be like, did I read that right? Because I always doubt myself. And I was just barely off on the timing marks. And we got the head rebuilt. We got the 3-way grind on the valves. We got everything done. I did some porting and polishing. I put in sport cams from Tectonics, if you're a Volkswagen guy. And I should have fucking turned it over by hand with the wrench, which I don't know if I would have been able to get it at that point, but I just fucking hopped in like it was gonna fire right up, turn it over, and then it didn't start, wouldn't start. I can't remember. I don't know if we borrow scoped the hole and whatever that scope's called. But anyways, I fucking bent the valves. Brand new valves, bent them. Sent the head out, got re-fucking done again. And it's on fucking drop suspension to the fucking floor almost, so it's a little bit rough. But this is the car I always wanted when I was in high school. I was like, man, that's... At the time, I had like a 79 Rabbit 2-door C? Rabbit L. So it was just like, fuck, 2-door, 1.6 or 1.7. Deers. Don't fucking hit my car, motherfucker. And, this was the cream of the crop from back then, right? So I seen this because I was in high school, 96, 94, 95, 96. Or 95, 6, and 7. Somewhere in there. So this, I guess at the time, this would have been fucking pretty old by then, but... Fucking power windows, manual sunroof up here that you wind, that I'm terrified to open because... The seal is like petrified. Not the actual seal around the window doesn't stop the rain. I found that out the hard way. There's rain. Anytime you get a sunroof car, there's drains in every one in each corner. And mine eventually got plugged up with fucking dirt. And it was at a time when I wasn't really driving the car. Which is the tail end of the head story, that when I redid the head and timing belt and shit. After I got it all together, it ran. It was dripping out of one of the corners of the head. And I was just like, you know what, fuck this piece of shit. And I slammed the hood. I left it at my buddy's shop for like 2 years. Because I was so fucking angry. And, yeah. Then the car was like, yeah, I'll fucking teach you a little bit more. And the fucking one of the plugs, it was on flat ground, but the drains were plugged, and it would rain, and where'd the water go? Right inside on the floor. So my slider rails on this side are a little rusty underneath, because that's the only bare metal that would be in the bottom of your car. Other than that, this car is pretty sound and solid, but the slider rails where the chair is underneath, in between the carpet, is all fucked up from that rain. I came in one time and I was like, why is there so much moisture all over my windows in the middle of the day? Summer. And yeah, I opened up the door, I was just like, oh fuck. So it took me a while to figure that out. But anyways, what are we up to today? Yammer yammer. We're gonna go help Cal Nash move another Excalibur drilling rig. It's just out east of town. Well, it's out east of Ponoka, so it's not very far away. And I'm just being tri-low guy. So I get to chill out and relax. But I'll probably be running my ass off today, because it's not very far apart, and I'm tri-low guy. So we'll fucking see what's up here. We'll be there shortly. Stay tuned.
8, we'll need a double line. Sorry, let's try that. Come around the other way of the rig here. Back in and grab that light plant? Yeah, back in, or you can come in and nose up to the pump and back around it, whatever you want to do there. Remember, what is it?
Roger that.
You can just go.
Drive in or back in?
You can drive in, come hard left around. Straight up front here. Back.
Well, that was short-lived. So we're only like 2 kilometers from lease to lease, so I don't know if they figured that we weren't going to get in each other's way, but we were just kind of waiting. I guess we are on the bottom of the barrel. After you do that, you're gone. You're done. Like, all right, cool. But then the second part of the day, I'm like, text dispatch, I'm like, me and Cody are getting released. All right, cool. Go to yard number 2 and start hawking loads to the new yard 2. So, well, we'll fill the day with some stuff, I guess. Should be dry. It's 25 above already, Celsius, and it's 10 a.m. So it's probably gonna be hot and sweaty, but good news is, just fucking slurp it on and go. We're inside the industrial park, we just drive nice and slow. Should be cool. So that's what we're gonna go do now, is just hawk whatever we can get from yard number 2 over to the new yard number 2. Stay tuned.
The point is, we couldn't do our job if it weren't for you guys doing all the paperwork, answering the phones, all that stupid shit that we don't like to do.
All the gunfights, all the car chases, all the sex we don't want to have with women, but we have to, all due to what you guys do. Thank you.
And we do it again and again.
Hey, you shut your face!
Uma ameaça foi detectada. Uma ameaça foi detectada.